AI is one such evolution. It will displace a lot of jobs. This is a war and there will be casualties. AI jobs and Web3 jobs are few only, like the big ones. That's a myth. People understand कि बहुत सारे jobs है, बहुत सारे jobs नहीं है, नहीं होंगे भी. तो but these are high-paying jobs, and the freshers who are non-coders, non-technical, do not worry. When you get even a job as a fresher in Web3, we have people who are getting like even 60-70 lakhs. American Express had a huge layoff. I was one of them. Do not confuse layoff with getting fired. So on 17, I realized like AI is going to be very hot. So it's better to go where the future is going. But people who understand tech and who can make different architectures like the 𝗏𝗏𝗃, AWS आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, GCP पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Then you become a full stack AI scientist.
So do you know how much salary artificial intelligence engineers and blockchain developers are making worldwide? It is more than 50 lakhs per annum. Yes, you heard it right, and the introduction of popular AI tools like 𝗏𝗏𝗃 has proved that in the next couple of years, the market of AI engineering is going to boom, and this would be the next big thing for the industry professionals to kickstart their career. But the most frustrating part is how to acquire these premium skill sets like artificial intelligence, Web3, blockchain, how to study about them, how to create projects around it, how to hunt for the job, what should be the right strategy, right roadmap, and right mindset. So don't worry, this IITian who has built AI startups worth 82 crore is here to help you out, and he will be talking about all those secrets which can help you to become a top-notch AI engineer and blockchain developer in 2023, also living up the dream of earning more than 50 lakhs per annum. So sit there for next 30 minutes, grab your coffee and watch this podcast till the very end, because you are going to learn a lot today. So before starting the video, hit the like button quickly, and I want you guys to answer this question in the comment section. What is the actual difference between the data scientist and AI engineer? I'm waiting for your answers. So thank you so much, Jayanth, for joining me on my podcast. First of all, really excited. So how are you doing? How things are at your end?
Very good. Thank you so much, Shashank, for having me over. It's a pleasure and really grateful that I'm here on your podcast. I've been following that. I've seen some videos of yours before itself.
For the very first time, I'm going to cover something related to Web3 and the AI. So it would be really great if you can give a short introduction to our audience. Anything you want to talk about your academic and professional background?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So I am a normal middle class, from middle class Telugu family, and I did most of my education in Middle East. And then in Telugu families, you have one thing, like before you even get qualified for marriage or honeymoon, you have to make sure you finish your engineering or medicine. So like any typical person, and the only thing to even have a seat at my table, my dad went to an IIT, so I went to an IIT Madras, did my BTech, MTech. Then the whole dog and pony show continued. I went to the US, did my masters at Columbia University. Then as again, same conveyor belt, I was working there at American Express in credit underwriting division. That's when I came across data, huge volumes of data. At that time, this was 2015 or I think 2014. Sorry, 2000, yeah, roughly around that time. American Express had a huge layoff. I was one of them. And I did get a job at Citibank, again, same consumer underwriting, risk analytics, but I had a passion to like start something on my own. So I returned to India at that time. This was roughly 2015.
So like even in your starting days, you saw the layoffs which are happening right now as well.
So Shashank, layoffs are not something new in the US, in the Western world. They happen a lot more ruthlessly, and so it's a very normal thing. Do not confuse layoff with getting fired. So one thing that audience might want to know is layoff happens not for a personal reason or a performance reason. It can happen because a new CEO has come and he wants to suddenly increase the profit, or it can happen because the R&D unit is now taking a lot of money, so you want to remove that. Getting fired is different. Like maybe you didn't go to office on time, or maybe you've gone drunk, or your performance was bad. So these are two different things. Now it's coming to India because there's a lot of tech companies who have offshore centers. So I think people get confused a lot. That time I took it very, very personally. I remember I was like for 2-3 months I couldn't sleep because your salary gets affected, everything is affected. But these are two different things.
You are an IITian, so how was your life there, and what did actually change for you after moving out from IIT Madras?
Yeah, great question. So I was not a good student at IIT Madras. So I think like anybody, like yeah, like most people, by first year, I think first year I studied a lot, which I don't know why I did that. Maybe because of all the coaching and all of that, you have that momentum. So I was really good. By second year or towards the end of first year, I got interested in all the cultural fests, women, partying, then all the substance and all of that. So I realized like life has a lot more. And also, I have like a tiger dad. I mean, my father passed away, but he was so suddenly it was like coming out and you're free and you can do a lot more things. So that was very, very, extremely great experience in terms of finding social life, friends. The like the cohort is very, very, very smart. So that is one thing I've been very grateful. I had the opportunity to meet some people who are like just gifted. So second year, third year, just going through college and trying to just honestly just pass. At that time, the problem was just to like, okay, can you show up to the class and get attendance and kind of, that was the mindset at that time. Really very lethargic. I just sleepwalked most of my college life. But I think towards the fourth year and fifth year, I was in a dual degree program. So reality starts hitting you. You need an internship. You need a good CV. You need marks. You need a good GPA. Otherwise, companies don't shortlist you. So then I started, getting switched on a lot more. So yeah, so mostly I was a lot into extracurriculars. I was okay to bad at academics. I don't know how I finished my master's thesis. It was just a nightmare. And then I think I started working. So once I started working at KPMG, etc., I think I was still not in the best mental shape. It took me, I think, maybe 2-3 years to get back into the regular swing of things. So overall, IIT, when I graduated, I was not in the best shape. But now I'm very grateful because, looking back, that the institution is phenomenal. There are so many talented people. But at that time when I went through, it was not the most, a great experience.
In your career, you built multiple startups and mostly like all of them were related to artificial intelligence. So like why so much fascination with AI? Also, how those startups went for you? Like share those success or failure stories if
Yeah, great. Good. Yeah. So when I returned back to India, so even at Columbia, I had a startup and one of my co-founders who was also my IIT Madras junior, but we didn't know it during college, undergrad, but he was also my roommate at Columbia. So that company tanked. But so first 2-3 were like just normal attempts, paise banaunge, quick kind of rich schemes and all of that. We were not very long-sighted. So most of the beginning companies were not in AI. I tried a college chat app that failed. I burned through 20-30 lakhs. That is my savings. I did one college bus chat tracking application that failed. Another 20-30 lakhs gone or more. The lesson I learned, but it was not like in hindsight everything looks easy. Ye karna tha, wo karna tha. But when you're going through first person, is very difficult. One insight I got is I went back to my roots, which was mathematics, like AI, statistics, all of this. I understood like I have to build a company not for what is short term, what is like current fad, or but on something that's revolving on your strengths. Like opportunities are everywhere. You can make a flower delivery startup and you can become maybe a billionaire. You can be a YouTube podcaster, you can become billionaire. You can do whatever. Like you can send people to Mars and make money. But what is your strength? That's very important. So I realized like that was my strength. Like I love challenging problems, etc. So I went and upskilled again in AI in 2017. It was very good. Then I understood that one more insight that was beginning to get like dawn on me was, Shashank, technology goes through, and the innovation happens every 10-20 years. Like if you look at 80s, जिसने Java बनाया था, he's a billionaire. जिसने made a lot of wealth, created a lot of wealth. अभी आज Java आप सीखोगे तो you might not make that much money. 2010, if you know iPhone, Xcode, you make a lot of money. But today it's not that much. 2017, I realized like AI is going to be very hot. So it's better to go where the future is going. It'll be a little difficult because not much information will be there, but it's better to go and push for something that's going to happen and live in the future. Then you can capture a lot of value. वो insight I had started to understand. क्योंकि जो legacy technology है, जो पहला वाला technology है, there'll be a lot of competition. So that is why most of my then I started a healthcare company called Sigma. I think Abhiv just had that sort of in the document. That was in AI, and then the upskilling program that we're doing is also in artificial intelligence and Web3, and only the premium technologies and courses, and you'll also attract the right kind of talent. So that is the insight why future is exciting to me.
Now you are like in edtech and focusing on delivering right knowledge of AI and blockchain among aspiring industry professionals. So what was the motive behind it? Like, did you see any kind of gap which you are trying to fill, or you think that people should make career into blockchain and AI because it is the next big thing in the market?
Yeah, good question. So when we were building Sigmoid, and Sigmoid was a healthcare company, and we were trying to use computer vision and AI to detect diseases more, faster and better than doctors, and maybe basically help them and service them. We realized one insight there in the healthcare is there's not a lot of doctors, like blanket, in India, in Africa, everywhere. So there's a shortage of doctors, but the supply of patients is huge. And then we realized AI is very powerful, but we ran into other challenges there. Wahan pe the problem was that adoption, like healthcare companies, ERP companies, HIS, RIS, जो healthcare software में है, they are not very accommodating of new technologies because they see like a threat. And also healthcare में you have a lot of compliances. आपको FDA 510K चाहिए, वो सब चाहिए, like CTRI, government approval, ये सब चाहिए, which is fair. So it's a very slow, drawn-out process. One thing I noticed is that there's genuinely a shortage of technologists, जो not just programmers, which is like coders, etc., which is at the slightly low to medium level, but people who understand tech and who can make different architectures, like the ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT was done by Sam Altman and Elon Musk, and people are not understanding the level at which that was done, which is astounding. Like, अगर आपको एक city बनाना है, you're looking at the workers who are making the buildings and the Taj Mahal, but you're not understanding the person who did the blueprint. So that I realized is very important. So coming to the teaching part, one thing is, again, going back to your strengths, I love teaching. I love like inspiring people. I don't know why. Maybe because I felt like somebody should have been there or at many points. It just feels good for me. I'm not very good at other areas, but I know this thing is one thing I really like. So मैंने देखा है कि many people are in the same boat like me. You are going through the current fashion. Like suppose now, make an example. Electric vehicle is a hot thing, but you don't know why you're getting it. But chalo, electric vehicle, you learn a little bit. The revolution is here, but that's not the right way to do it. You have to only do it if you're truly passionate, and if you understand that future technologies have a lot of scope, you will sort of nail it. Again, a lot of people, I mean, I'm not criticizing anybody, still take the IAS exams, still take like bank PO exams, which is good, but many skilled people are also taking that. But you will not unlock the maximum salaries, maximum revenue potential. वो सब नहीं होगा ना. And it is important to make liquidity. पैसे बनाना important है क्योंकि you can help your family, you can help your your kids and all parents and all of that. Plus you can experiment more. We can start making a lot more experiment. So I understood like if I can help smart people conquer tech, then I'll become a lot more valuable. That was the idea behind Pixel Test.
And Jayanth is teaching crazy stuff about AI and blockchain on Pixel Test platform. So first, I would highly recommend to join these 2 free webinars. Link is in the description, and you can also acquire these premium skill sets because Pixel Tests have the courses for AI and blockchain with IIT Madras Pravartak. So do check it out. Link is in the description. Since we are talking about these premium skill sets, right? So if a beginner, right, who want to kickstart their journey in AI or want to become an AI engineer, then what is the right way to do the same, and what skill set someone need to acquire? If you can help my audience to understand it step by step, that would be really great.
Yeah, sure. So there are 2 things, right? So as a beginner, my first request to you would be to focus on first principles thinking. So वो क्या होता है? That means simply really brushing up your mathematical skills, your analytical skills, and if you have programming skills, great. If you don't have, also no problem. That is something can be picked up. I think the single biggest thing is these 3 and the mindset. It's very, very important to have a very strong mindset. Now, what is mindset? I know it's a little contrarian. See, AI jobs and Web3 jobs are not easy. Like, I'll be honest. Like, सब लोग को IAS seat चाहिए, सब लोग को IIT seat चाहिए, but number of people taking that is, I think, in the order of millions, like I think 11 million or 10 million, some large number. AI jobs and Web3 jobs are few only, like the big ones. That's a myth people understand कि बहुत सारे jobs है. बहुत सारे jobs नहीं है, नहीं होंगे भी. क्योंकि these are premium skills. उतने सारे architects नहीं चाहिए आपको, right? You only need one captain in a cricket team. You might need so many other players. So, but these are high-paying jobs. Pay high होता है. IAS officer का like his pay, his pedigree, उसके status सब कुछ बहुत high होता है. Same thing, right? So number of jobs are very less, but they are increasing. Opportunities are very, very high paying. So now work backwards. So you have to have a very good, strong mindset. What does that mean now? When you get even a job as a fresher in Web3, we have people who are getting like even 60, 70 lakhs. The thing is, you have to have a solid foundation on the science. कि अगर blockchain क्या होता है, React क्या होता है, programming क्या होता है, math skills क्या होते हैं, logic क्या होता है. This is very, very critical. Nobody is going to pay you 40, 50 lakhs. Amazon is paying 43, 50 lakhs for AI programs, like AI jobs. They expect some sort of skill and competence with you. So as a fresher, get this thing out of your mind that कि मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, मेरे को कुछ नहीं मालूम है. Colleges suck. We've all gone through that. Colleges are meant to make you like that. But that is a reality. But everybody is like that, right? Don't be demotivated, etc. that you don't have about the past. Think about the future and ruthlessly focus. So focus on the mindset and focus ruthlessly on just programming every day, at least half an hour or 1 hour of coding and maths and the skills. Then the technical skills can be picked up on the way. Like if you are specifically like hash functions, supervised learning, unsupervised, I think those skills you'll pick up, right? Before you run a marathon, most important is like do the small push-ups, do the pull-ups. You can pick up all the other things on the way. That is my belief, right? Second part is what is the blueprint, right? I think if you're a fresher, there are two kinds of freshers I've seen, because I've seen a lot of students who come to me, professionals, कि भाई आपको प्रोग्रामिंग मालूम है, आपके कॉलेज में कुछ एक्टिविटीज आपने किए हैं और like some neat code, lead code, all of these codes आपने किए and you know it, then the path is easy for you. 3 to 6 months you can upskill very, very fast, be it in AI or be it in blockchain, right? Full stack AI scientist, the path is obviously learn, your Python. We focus heavily on Python, not on R. Nail that, absolutely. Second, then you go on to the actual core concepts, right? Which is after EDA, exploratory data analysis, visualization, all of that. Then your supervised learning, just focus on the fundamentals. Abhi bhi 90% of the industry only uses these simple basic concepts. It's not the high funda concepts. Then you learn the unsupervised learning and then the deep learning. There is a lot of fascination of deep learning, but deep learning also very, very few roles are only there, right? And last, deployment is very important. Many people miss out on that. AWS आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, GCP पढ़ना पड़ेगा, deployment is one thing. Then you become a full stack AI scientist, right? Because many people only focus on only like one element, like only the code, like I know KNN or I know some high funda like logistic regression or something. Focus on the fundamentals, and a full stack approach is important. Like batting, bowling or fielding आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा to win the World Cup, and this is like winning a World Cup, right? Similar pathways are there in blockchain. We can talk a lot more. Maybe if you're interested in the webinar, you can join, right? So these are the two things I've seen. And the freshers who are non-coders, non-technical, do not worry. Many people who have come also I've seen who are non-technical also win their way. Just be patient. If it's not 1 year, it'll take 1.5 years. It's okay. But having a long-term thinking is very, very important. Yeah, this is the typical problems I've seen and the mindset.
Like if we look at the current market situation, and you also elaborated the number of jobs for the blockchain and AI. So like, do you still think that upskilling ourselves in the field of blockchain and AI would be much more valuable than anything else?
Great question, Shashank. So let's try to understand about learning, right? Nico, technology again goes back to that, what I've said then. Technology always and always will change. Innovation will happen. Creativity will come in. Because somebody somewhere smoking up, doing whatever, is going to be inventing something, right? So that is a given. There is no constant. Hum tech mein, we are not lawyers where laws keep changing. वो नहीं होता. MBBS also is set. एक बार पढ़ो, forget about it. They are set templates, set this thing. In fact, I met one person in who was a CA, and she was telling me she was actually CXO of one of the Flipkarts and all that, Myntra. She said she can't move to US. I said why? Because they are Indian laws, Indian accounting. I only will have to learn here. I can't use it there, and they won't change. So unfortunately or fortunately, tech is the only thing where you have to keep upgrading. remaining 4 professions or 3 professions I mentioned, you don't have to upgrade that much. That is the given. So think like that. Every 5 years, कम से कम 10,000 या 50,000 या 3 लाख या 10 लाख, whatever is your financial liquidity, upgrade on yourself, like upskill on yourself. That is a given. If you're upgrading your phone, you have to upgrade your mindset as well, right? Same thing. So tech, given, even I take courses, I have to do it, right? So that is the given. Now comes back to your interest. Given that हमको upgrade करना चाहिए, what is your interest? It could be AI. So there are 5 to 6 new technologies that are really hot. That's AI, Web3, which we focus on. There's cybersecurity, there's quantum, and I think there's a bunch of other things. Electric vehicle is another revolution happening, and there are milder things happening, right? So go and pick one which is aligned with your interest. For instance, Shashank, I know I don't like cybersecurity. Like it's not something interesting. Quantum, I like it, but I don't have a skill in it. And मैंने देखा है कि उतना वो बहुत application oriented नहीं है अभी. Like it'll take 5 to 10 years for the market to mature. So this is a very, very high level overview of how you should think about technology. No matter if you are a techie for a job or you're a professor, and we have professors also in our community. If you're a doctor, if you're mildly interested in tech, just upskill. There's a no-brainer. Just go to the best, upgrade, and you might apply to it or you might not apply to it. You might not apply it on your day job. That's fine, but you have to be knowing the best technologies.
Mindset is something which I can see you are emphasizing a lot on that part. If you want to acquire these premium skill set, you have to be a really strong mindset, because that's why these are the premium skill sets.
Yeah, I mean, not just that. I think mindset for us, and since we are on this topic, it's very important because I've been very fortunate to mentor very, very smart people. Like even in IIT, I've seen IIT, my wingmate, one of them, killed himself. But he was like a really very gifted individual. So I've seen people who are very, very like, okay, abhi job chahiye, meko 30% hike chahiye, immediately I want that. That is one mindset. But I've seen people like who get the job, who are in mining companies and who are depressed. So it's all over the place. I think very few people are there who are like, okay, next 3 years, I'll put the 3 lakh budget, 5 lakh or whatever, 10,000, 20,000, $50,000. I'll put a budget. I like this. I'm going to stick around with it. Problem solving ke liye jaunga main. If I get a great job, good. If I don't get a great job, also no problem. But I love the science behind it. I think that is a very, very valuable insight. What I have unlocked.
Jayanth, like in last 5-6 years, competition also has increased a lot to get into the field of data science, AI, ML, and the reason is huge percentage of industry professionals want to move into these jobs because of the hype and the buzzwords sometimes as well. So if someone honestly want to get a job into these fields, then how can they actually stand out from the crowd? Because competition is really tough.
There are two ways to look at competition, right? So one is the awareness of the applications have increased. So for instance, AI took about 20-30 years. The first AI was invented like way back, like 50s or 60s. But last 10-20 years, because of the computational power and the bringing of our newer algorithms, like you mentioned, ChatGPT, transformers, NLPs, convolutional neural networks and all of these, the technology also has gone through an inflection point. Now, blockchain, so AI is taking through the roof. Blockchain is still 1 or 2 more years before that inflection point happens. So it will take its own time. Now, for you to stand out, awareness is more, applications are more, data is also more. So these 3 trifecta have increased the AI revolution. As a person, if you want to really stand out and you're going to upskill, it could be with us, it could be with anybody, you have to now first do something you're passionate about. For instance, I'll tell you one example. There are so many data sets about like cars data set, forecasting weather, forecasting, let's say even cricket scores. I found this one student, and this is really good, Shashank. So ye banda, he liked birds. Yeah, birds. One would imagine like what's going on. So what he did is he took photos. So he had a problem. So there's a thing called bird watching. It's a movie on Netflix also. It's very cool. Netflix or Amazon Prime. If you spot a bird, you have to tell like what is the category of the bird. Like I only know 3-4 birds, but you can see Discovery Channel and birds mein bahut sare types hai. So he would take the photo of the bird and then he would go back and Google search it, reverse Google search it and try to find out. Google is also not that very accurate about birds. So what he did is he built his entire portfolio of that birds because he said if he is having a problem, others will have a problem, right? He built that. That guy, he was coming out, he came to the community or the coaching only to learn AI, etc. But eventually what happened is he built an entire app out of it. That app has all the bird watchers now. Everybody's uploading photos and the AI is getting better and better, better and better. So just imagine the potential. And sitting there, no competition, nothing. And he's making more money than what he applied for, like for the jobs. The only way to stand out is just be original. कि भाई आपका जो problem है, solve that, nothing else. You don't have to solve weather problem, stock problem. ये तो cookie cutters है. Everybody has seen it. Everybody has seen it. When I saw his passion and how he has solved the problem, that was next level. So tailor your resume to what you are genuinely facing, as opposed to like, okay, what is the fad again? What I'll get from like GitHub? What will I get from Google's first 2-3 search results? That is, you're not going to be that standing out from the profile. That is number one. Number two is full stack. Just go full stack, all the 3 elements. If you don't have a passion, you have not figured out. And passion figuring out is very rare. Like you figured out YouTube. It's very rare. Like many people don't do it. After 3rd video of YouTube, they're dead. But if you don't have a clarity on your passion, just go breadth-wise. Do the programming, the full stack, right? Learn the algorithm, etc. Learn deployment. Some industry somewhere will absorb you very fast because they'll have that immediate requirement. So these are 2 tricks that I've seen people will help people.
So if industry is moving towards AI tools, or in simple words, if AI is taking over the industry, then what will happen to the tech jobs? Because recently when ChatGPT came into the limelight, everybody started talking about it. It is here. And then even I started getting recommendation on Instagram of tons of AI tools. Creators started creating videos about AI tools. And they were like, now this is something which is going to kill our jobs. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, great question. And this is something even I get asked a lot, because I do I interact with thousands and thousands, tens and thousands of students and professionals. See, you have to understand how humans think. One piece I've seen is, I think it's called the amygdala, the lizard brain. Most of our thoughts come from fear, like that gets triggered faster than from like positive thinking, which is like, passion, love, sincerity, all of those. So I think before we understand something, we fear it, and hence the reaction comes to that fear. So coming back to the macroscopic overview, like you have to look at history. Technology always is going to be there and it is going to innovate. People are going to create stuff. People are going to be always innovating, inventing, collaborating, and something new is going to happen all the time. So if you look at when the telephone was invented, I think 1920s or something like that, it definitely put a lot of the courier people out of business, or courier people out of jobs. Same thing when people said the same thing for when cell phone came in. Cell phone displaced a lot of the regular telephone jobs and opportunities, right? But you also have to think that apart from the fact that new revolutions happen, and AI is one such revolution, it will displace a lot of jobs. You also have to look at the positive side. It will create a lot of jobs. When the telephone was invented, it put a lot of companies, mega companies into the limelight, like AT&T. AT&T, a big company in the US, was there for 150 years. It laid cables on the ground. It became a huge company. It created so much employment opportunities. Same thing for cell phone. I'm sure like when Airtel came out, Bharti Mittal made a fortune because he put telephone towers, he's put all the operators, he's put company systems in place. Whenever a new technology comes in, there will be new opportunities that will happen. Net, it is required because humanity needs it, right? And not to be very cynical, but this is a war and there will be casualties, right? So my approach is, I would request everybody who's watching this podcast or wherever, think first principles, think basics. If you are in technology, even if you're in the adjacent sphere of technology, if you're a doctor who's if you're a radiologist, dealing with AI, learn AI. If you're a lawyer dealing with, now content and, legal documentation, annotation, you have to learn AI, right? Try to understand technology. It's like electricity. If you are oblivious to electricity, then you can't power your house. You can't even power a light bulb, right? But if you know that, you would be very powerful. I think that's the approach you should start taking. I've seen people from very weird fields. So we have one student. She's the captain of a ship. I won't name it. She's in the Indian Army. She's off the coast in some some Arabian Sea or somewhere, she's picking up AI. She's learning every day, and that inspires us. And if she's doing it, and she's running a huge ship, we should also be doing it. So everybody should upskill. It's criminal if you don't. Not just with us, it could be with anybody. But learn from first principles. Budget always on yourself. One more small thing I've seen is us. I won't say Indians, but we have like this mentality of being very good with others. Like we spend money on our parents if they, God forbid, if they have a hospital emergency. We spend money on our kids, giving them the best education, best colleges, etc. But we don't spend on ourselves, which is very bad. You are the single biggest asset. You have to spend on yourself first. That's my request to everybody.
No, this is really great advice. I would say the last part, I really liked it. And I think your point is really correct, that this is a sort of war situation where new technologies will keep on coming. And the best way to deal with this one is to upskill. And it's a war. There will be casualties and this will happen. So just be ready with that one. So thank you so much, Jayanth, for this wonderful insight and everything you talked about the AI, Web3, your experience as an entrepreneur and as a working professional. It was really great to hear. And I hope our audience will also have a really, really great insights from this podcast. And as I said, like he's conducting the webinars, go and check it out. Link will be in the description and you will definitely learn a lot from his experiences. So thank you so much, Jayanth. It was really nice talking to you. I personally enjoyed it and it was really informative.
Thank you so much, Shashank, for having me over, and great work. I did come across a few of your podcasts on the YouTube feed, and I did watch one or two of them. You really ask about the journey of people, and some of them have come from like really very, very, very normal backgrounds, which is fantastic. And it kind of gives you the feeling like if they can do it, we can do it. So keep up the good work. I hope you continue to inspire so many people in different parts of India or across the world. Thank you for your service. Yeah.
So that is what I had for you guys in this amazing podcast. I'm pretty sure you would have enjoyed this entire conversation with Jayanth regarding the AI and the blockchain development. If yes, you find it insightful, you find it meaningful, and you think that this is something which is going to add values in your life, then feel free to hit the like button. Also, if you are new to the channel, then smash the subscribe button and press the notification icon. I will see you guys really soon with another really interesting podcast. Till then, just keep exploring data.